In order to create a poster for my ancillary task for my A2 project, I used Adobe Photoshop in order to create the said poster. So for the poster I had a lot of draft images. For example, this image is one of the test shots of the image that I eventually used. So this is the image but with a different background. And here I'm using the spot healing tool in order to remove the creases in the duvet, just to make the background of the poster more smooth. I later decided to use a wooden background, as I believed it fit the theme more and it looked better. Photoshop was a very useful tool for me, as it provided me with all the features that I needed in order to create a film poster, such as text, visual effects on the image, and also various tools to remove imperfections. I was already fairly confident with using Adobe Photoshop before the beginning of my A2 project, as I'd previously used it in my GCSE media and in my A-level photography. In this video I am editing a different image for my poster, which was one of the test images that didn't make the cut for the final image, but as you can see I'm editing the text to create some credits. The title has already been created and I've used a bold font named Sego UI, and the size of the font is 160. So I've also added a film by Amber Odell, as one of the most important parts of a film poster is the director's name. And in this video I'm just working out which size would be best to have it and where it would be best in the poster. In this image I've given myself a lot of space in order to put in text and also make sure the image is not too cramped. I have two different drafts, one with the reflection of the candles in the background and one without. This is in order to give me a choice whilst I edit, just to see which one would look better for the final piece. For all of my posters I've experimented with brightness settings. Mainly I decided to have the brightness for every test image quite low in order to create a mysterious, more gritty feel. And in these images the candlelight looks a bit better with a slightly more orange tone to match the font. Another setting that I found very important during my poster production was the exposure, offset and gamma corrections settings, as these are similar to the brightness and contrast settings, but they are just more extreme and give a more obvious result, as you can see. In Photoshop it's very simple to mess around with different settings, filters, and you can preview them easily. It gives you a whole wide range of ways to edit your images and create a better image overall. Another feature that Photoshop offers to enhance your images is the Place Embedded Images feature. So this feature allows you to place any image that's from your computer into the document. It creates a new layer for the picture, and it does this with anything you place into the document. This new layer allows you to edit the foreign image separately from the rest of the image, so that any mix that you add to this image won't affect the overall background image. In this video here I'm adding laurel leaves to my poster, as they're a very important convention of film posters. So as you saw, I used the invert effect in order to turn the black laurel leaves to white. It's just slightly simpler than colouring them in with the paint option or having to use a white laurel leaf image with a background that you'd have to remove. Again, the placing of an image in the poster is very important in terms of spacing and the composition of the image. Photoshop does offer a tool to zoom in as close to the image as possible in order to fully get a good look of what you're doing, so that you can properly see and put a lot of detail in.